get to know about XLR, and I enrolled in XLR. I was very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about XLR, and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works. And it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge. Here they not only focusing on study, they are also conducting different exam to test our knowledge. And as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, XLR.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes. So he is a very informative and helpful guy. In the course end, there is a exam which I topped, so I came to the XLR office in Bengaluru. This digital marketing course has helped my career and my skills to develop, and the certificate has helped my company to join. Thank you, XLR.
I came to know about this course from my college. Actually, for learning platform, this is very nice, and I learned from here ChatGPT and AI from online. Vikas is teaching for me for AI generative and ChatGPT. We are using this technology in more. And after finishing the courses, I came for collecting the certificate. I seen the classrooms and faculties. Classroom is very nice. After the completion of exam, they will give gift and certificates. Thank you, XLR, for giving these courses. I learned a lot from this. I gained the more knowledge from here, and thank you for XLR for teaching us.
Hello guys, I'm Vikram Mahajan and I'm studying in Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology College, and I came across a training program which was mobile app development using Flutter, which was given to us by XLR Solutions. I came across this program through my college faculty who told us about this program, that it is a very good course and you should enroll in this course. So I enrolled in this course, and initially I felt really good about this course because they started everything from a very basic point of view, that even if someone who doesn't know anything about Flutter or anything about mobile app development can also learn the same way the ones who know about it are learning. So no student was left behind and everyone was given equal attention. All the doubts throughout the course were cleared, and if we had any questions also, we were like, the trainer was also ready to stay for a longer time than it was scheduled, even for the sake of doubts. So that shows how important the students are to them. So it was a really good experience with XLR's program, and by the end of the training program, I was able to develop my own application. And through the development also, there was another point. Our sir taught us about how we can connect our own mobile phone to our laptop and write code in our laptop, and you can see the output in your phone. It was really creative and interesting for me. I felt really good about that. So in the end, I developed my own mobile application. I showed it to my mother, I showed it to my friends. I felt really good about it. So I would really suggest XLR. I would recommend it to all my friends to take courses from here, as they focus on the children, focus on the students, and they focus on what's necessary, that is the students' doubts gets cleared and everything else. So today I came down to the XLR office to collect my certificate. So I got to know about what other courses XLR is offering. It included data analysis, data analyst, social media marketing, and full stack Java, and many more courses which were interesting, and they gave us an insight of how everything happens. And they take you through the course from the starting of the course to the end, and what next, that is placements as well. How you should be going into the interviews and how you should be approaching to companies, your resume building, and there were so many things which XLR is going to help you in, and they are ready to give you all the knowledge required even if you are a beginner. So I really felt good about this visit, and I would really recommend XLR to everyone who's listening to this, and also to all my friends, that I had a very good experience with XLR, and I would suggest you to experience the same. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Satish and I am from Swami Vivekananda Institute of Technology. I am here to share my experience about XLR program. I took part in the XLR program that was conducted in the last month about the mobile app development using Flutter. What I liked the most about this session was the trainer started from the scratch. That means even the beginner who don't know about the basics of the program, even they can learn the most from this program. It gave me hands-on experience by developing a project which was the final outcome. Thank you XLR for giving me this opportunity, and I would also recommend all my friends to take part in the XLR programs. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Tasneem. I'm the senior manager at 98 percentile in the HR department. And today we did a wonderful drive with XLR. It was amazing right from the very beginning, from the very first day when I got in touch with them till today. I think it was an extremely smooth journey with them. There were multiple follow-ups done by the representatives in order to check that we would be, what time would be coming, how many people would be coming, what vehicle we would get. To that extent, they were so precise in giving all the information to us. It was extremely great to get associated with them and have a drive at XLR campus. So we are very, very happy that we got a chance to do this. Now, coming to the students, what XLR had, I think they were extremely enthusiastic. They were well prepared. They were aware of what they are coming for. I think there was some back-end preparation which they did that was commendable. They also were very confident and they were open to any kind of thing we were asking them to do. That was I think the best part. Now, I really hope we have a very, very fruitful association with each one of them and XLR in future. We are really looking forward to have many more drives like this.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Sharma and I'm the Senior Project Manager for IT Department at 90th Percentile. So today we were here for this IT bootcamp, right, this technical drive and at XLR. So it was a great experience and I would feel that the students, they are the freshers, right, but it doesn't seem like that. So if I talk about their technical and cognitive ability, they all seems pretty good in that and that's what I felt. And I guess they have been taught pretty well at XLR, so that's how they have performed good in their aptitude and the technical tests. So I wish them all the best and it was a very great experience over here.
Hi, this is Patan, Technology Consulting Manager from 98th Percentile. We visited XLR for the campus placement drive and it went very well today. Miss Ambika, Miss Pragati, everyone received us greatly here and we had a lot of enjoyable time here. The students even had great experience with us. They were interactive, they had good aptitude and all the technological skills they showed. I think they were all well and we really appreciate their time that they spared to us and I think we will be doing a great job. We are expecting a lot of people to be hired from them. Let's see. It was a great experience altogether.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
From entering into the cyber tower to exiting out of this tower, the XLR team has been received me with such a care and pleasure.
I am the part of this XLR since 4 months. From the third month itself, they have conducted the placement sessions from the third month itself, and this is the fourth month, and this is the 98th percentile is one of the placement drive I have attended so far, and attending to this drive is such a good experience for me. All the HRs and the team made us feel very comfortable and confident.
XLR helped me a lot, and I experienced a lot of things today, so I'm really
Hi guys. Good evening everyone. Am I audible? Yes guys, let me know if I'm audible or not.
Yes, Umar, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. So let's continue from where we had left yesterday. Is my screen visible to all of you guys? My screen visible? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we had finished with this set of questions yesterday. Okay, so today let's go to a different set of questions. So what are the control statements we have in Java? Okay, so visible, right? Okay, so if people are still joining in, we can wait for the 2 minutes that they don't miss out. Yes, anyone has any queries of yesterday's questions so that we can cater to those questions? If we got a substantial count, we can continue. So when we ask what are conditional statements, okay, when we are asked what are the conditional statements, so always answer this question in your category wise. Okay, so always prepare a bullet point for each of your questions. Okay, so if yeah, am I audible, guys? Okay, so when I say control statements, okay, so always categorize this question into 3 parts. Okay. Your conditional statements, your loops and iterations. Okay. Your loops and iteration, and your branching statements. Okay. So conditional statements, you all know. We have the plain if, we have the if, else, then we have nested if else, one if else inside the another if else. Okay. Then loops, we have the for loop, the while loop, the do while loop, and we have extended for loop. Okay. Okay. Extended for loop is also called as the enhanced for loop. Okay. So, and then in your branching statements, we have break and we have continue, and we also have return. Okay, we have these. Okay, so conditional statements you all are well versed with, I guess. If, what does if do? It checks for a condition. If the condition is true, it will execute a set of instructions. If the condition is not true, it will not execute those set of instructions. Okay, so if is a conditional. So we check for a condition. We will check for a condition. If this, so every condition will have 2 outcomes. Either the condition will be true or the condition will be false. So if the condition is true, what set of instructions we need to execute? And if the condition is false, do not do anything. So the if, only the if loop, if we are talking about, will work like this. This is your only if loop. And you can have a join point over here. And the program will continue execute. Like this. So it will check for a condition. If the condition is true, then execute set of instructions. And if the condition is false, do not do anything. Directly go out. That will be your if. Okay. If else, I guess these things you all are well versed with. Okay. Then have you all heard of a ternary operator? Okay. If we are quite comfortable with the traditional if else, but the same work can be done with the help of a ternary operator. Okay. So let me take a programming example. So let me open up my Eclipse. Okay. And now y'all will guide me as to which application were we yesterday. We were over here. Interview preparation batch. And I was making day-wise agenda. Okay. So I'll go to the SRC and I'll go new and I'll make a package called day 3. And today's work will store in the day. Yes, correct, Venkatesh. Absolutely correct. You have a condition, then you have a question mark. Okay, so let's make a class conditional statements demo. Conditional statements demo. So I'll put the mean in it. You all are doing parallel programming with me, you all can do so. So the traditional if else, what it does is, so if I need to find the maximum between 2 numbers, So I'll take an integer n1, initialize it to 100, integer n2, initialize it to 50. Now if I want to display the maximum number out of this, my traditional if will do like this. If n1 is greater than n2, then you take the third variable, integer max, and then if n1 is greater than n2, your n1 becomes the max. If not, okay, let's put equal to also over here, so that if they're equal. Else you can say your n2 is your max, and then you can come outside the condition and do a sys out and say maximum number is max. So what will be the output of this code? The output of this code should be maximum number is 100, because this condition will become true. Okay, so how to check for the condition? It is written as if, it is read as is. You write the variable name, but you read the variable value. Okay, what to write and what to read. So read if as is, write the variable name, but read the variable value. So is 100 greater than or equal to 50? This will evaluate to true. And if true means the instruction within the if block will be executed and my n1 will be stored into maximum. So my max, which was 0, now my max becomes 100. And if the if block is executed, the else block will be skipped. And directly I will come outside and I will say maximum number is 100. I save my code, right click, run as Java application, and it says maximum number is 100. If I make this as 500 now. Now the condition is 100 greater than equal to 500. This will evaluate to false. So when the condition becomes false, it goes into the else block. So now n2 will go into maximum. So now in this case, my maximum is 500. So it will display me maximum number is 500. Okay. So this is such a lengthy code. So to minimize this coding, we have a ternary operator. What does ternary operator does? It checks for a condition. It checks for a condition. So you have to give a question mark. If this condition is true, if this condition is true, it will store n1. Okay. And if it is false, it will store n2 in the LHS variable like this. So how do you read this statement? You will evaluate this part. Okay, so this we can split into 3 halves. So it will evaluate this condition first and will check is n1 greater than equal to n2. So question mark means check for the condition. If it is true, if this condition is true, the variable to the left of the colon will be stored in the left hand side variable. So the condition is true, n1 will go in max. And if the condition is false, the variable toward the right hand side of the colon will go into the max. Okay, so it checks for a condition. If that condition, because condition will either evaluate to true or will either evaluate to false. Condition like a coin. So you can take a coin and toss a coin. Will either you get a head or you get a tail. Out of these, any one will occur. If the head has occurred, so tail will not occur. And if tail has occurred, head will not occur. If you toss the coin once, so the outcome will either be a head or a tail, not both. Similarly, when you check for a condition, the output will either be true or false, not both. So if it is true, store this variable which is between the question mark and the colon in the left hand side variable. And if the condition is false, store the variable between the colon and the semicolon in the left hand side variable. Is it making sense, guys? So here, now if I sys out over here, okay, so I'll just comment out all this. I will just comment out all this now. Okay, I'll comment out this. And now I will display this. So I have to declare. Okay, I will display. So now if you check this code, will work the same. Right click, run as Java application, will work the same. So if I make it 1000, if I make it 1000, if I make it 1000, what will you see? Okay, make the changes and do the save. So you will see that it is showing maximum number is 1000. So now don't need to write so much elaborative coding. The ternary operator will be helpful, but it only checks between the condition only and stores the value. Okay, so if I need to make it more concise, I'll just remove all the spaces. I'll remove all the spaces and you can write it like this. Yeah. So this can go. So you can evaluate for any condition. You can evaluate for any condition over here. And the condition becomes true, this part will be executed. If the condition becomes false, this part will be executed. Okay. So if I, okay, let me try to check out for this. Okay, I'm checking out for this. See, I'm checking out. See what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to check the condition in the printf itself now. Now check for this condition. If it is true, then what to print? What to print if it is true? Maximum number is n1. And if it is false, then what to print? Maximum number is n2. See, so now directly I am not even writing this statement. You know, people complain that Python has made the coding very short. Instead of writing elaborative verbose coding, Python has made the code very short and concise. So the same feature can be achieved in Java also. So as you practice, you will see now. So this entire stuff I have now shrinked into one single statement. So I'm saying print, but first check for the condition. If this condition is true, the code between the question mark and the colon gets executed. And if this condition is false, the code between the colon and the semicolon gets executed. Okay, so now let's check it out and see if the code is behaving properly. It is. Maximum number is 1000. So if I make this as 5000, and if I run, maximum number is 5000. See. So in one line, I have compared as well as displayed the output. So this is what they do in the industry. Guys, they don't write lengthy verbose code. Now they're writing very short and concise code. Okay, so they are keeping up pace with the trending languages in the market. Am I understood? Anybody who's doing pair programming with me? Control space bar, Deepit. You select the lines which you want to comment and give a control slash, sorry, control and slash, this slash. So give a control slash. Yeah, it's called ternary operator. Yeah, that's what I mentioned over here. It's called what? Ternary operator. If you want to comment anything, just select the area which you wish to comment. So if I want to comment these 3 lines, I'll select them and give a control slash. And if you want to uncomment, select them and give a control slash again. You'll uncomment it. Making sense, guys? So I would expect you all to do pair programming. So this will be more beneficial for us if we are doing pair programming. So anybody who's doing and is getting the answer? Okay, so this, hope this is understood. Okay, you can also call a function also, guys. You can also call a function over here. So see, what I mean by calling a function. So if I say accept a number from user, if the number is odd, display its square. If the number is even, display its cube. So I'll take a new class, square cube class. Square cube example. Okay, so I made this class square cube demo. So to accept a number from user, we have the scanner class. Okay, so I can say scanner, sc is new scanner. Now as this is outside my package, okay, I need to import it. So shortcut for import is Control Shift O, guys. Control Shift and the O for orange. So if you hit this button together, we'll do the import for you. Control Shift O and see it as imported. Okay, so I'll show you once again. Earlier, what we were doing, earlier we were scrolling and hovering over the class which we need to import, and it will give us the answer, the option to import. This is one of the ways of doing it, and a faster way of doing it is just do a Control Shift O. Okay, and now to force this out and say enter a number. So now what do I do now? I store that number in n variable. And now what do I do? Now I do that. I do a sys out, let's say, and I check if n mod with 2 is equal to 0. Means what? What does n mod with 2 equal to 0 mean? So I will call the, so what was the question I said? I said, okay, so you can, if you want to write multi-line comments, you can give a backslash asterisk and asterisk backslash. So this is how become multi-line comments. My question was, accept a number from user if number is odd, display its square, if else display its cube. So if the number is odd, so I will say equal to 1, mean number is odd, so display its square. So I'll call the square function and pass n to it, colon, and the number is, I'll call the cube function and pass n to it. Okay, so I'll check for the condition, and whatever they are returning, I'm going to display. So now create this function. Okay, so what will that return to me? What will that return to me? It will return to me the square of this number. Okay, so ideally it should return me a integer. Okay, so I'll return the n into n. Okay, and if I say cube, get a method, same. Okay, you have to make it static because it is being accessed by main, right? It is being accessed by main, to make it static. And make here also what? Int, and return what? N into n into n. Okay, so see now the code has become show, short and sweet. So I'm checking for the number. If it is odd, I'm calling the square function, and whatever that function is returning to me, the square of the number I'm displaying in the println. And if the number is, okay, so what are we doing? If the number is odd, display its square. Else, if the number is even, display its cube. So if I pass the number 3, what should be the output? 3 is odd, so it should display me the square of 3, that is 9. And if I pass the number 4, it should display me the cube of 4, that is 64. Output should be 64. Let's check it out if it's working fine. Save it, right click, run as Java application. I enter 3, it displays me 9. I rerun the application. I enter 4, it displays me 64. Okay, so you can play around with ternary operators in whatever ways you feel convenient. This will evaluate to a boolean. This will evaluate to a boolean. This will evaluate to a boolean always. So you can have any expression over here which evaluates to a boolean. Okay, so if I have a function over here which checks number is odd or even. So if I have a public static boolean function which takes a, okay, I'll call it odd even, which takes a number as parameter, and if that number is odd, means if n mod with 2 is equal to 1, it will return me true, else it will return me false. Okay, so now instead of directly showing the condition over here, here also I can call the function. So I want, before the question mark, you should have an expression which evaluates to a boolean. So now I can call this function over here, odd even, and pass the n as a parameter. Yeah, so now I've made it more modularized. What I'm doing over here, calling the odd even function and passing n as a parameter. So if I pass n as 3, 3 mod 2 equal to 1, it will say true. So if this evaluates to true, display its square. And if I pass 4, 4 mod 2 equal to 1, no, will evaluate to false. If this evaluates to false, then it will go over here and will display the cube. Okay, saved it. Run Java application. Same, if I say 3, will display me 9, and 4 will display me 64. Same to same. So as you can write your small functions and play around with your functions also over here. Correct, guys? Is this making sense to you all? Yes, Tarun? I was evaluating for a even. Okay, so if I was evaluating for a odd. So if that number is odd, I want to find the square. If the number is even, I want to find the cube. So like this, you all can play around with. Okay, you all, Tabish is saying that we can use control F11. My function key at times doesn't. So control F11. Yeah, makes sense. From a shortcut, you can add and you can do so. So even cube. Perfect. So this is out of the way. Okay. Now iterations. For, while, do while. Okay. For, we know. So nested if else is when we have to check for multiple conditions. Okay. So let me give you a demo of nested if else also. So if we say nested if else demo, for very similar to nested if else is a switch case. So what happens in nested if else is, see, okay, as you all are engineering from an engineering stream, you all should be able to relate with what I am trying to ask. Okay, what are discrete values and what are continuous values, guys? So what is the discrete signal and what is the continuous signal? So this is a discrete signal which has 0, 1. Okay, so it's only either 0 or 1. 0, 1, it will work only in this way. Right? Has only very limited set of values, 0, 1, 0, 1. Correct? And this is a continuous signal. So this is a continuous signal like this, the sine wave. So at every given point of time, it is having new values. So at any point of time you will check, you will get a new value. Any point of time you will check the graph, you will always get some new value because the graph is a continuous graph. Here you will have only two values. Here you will have only two values. Here 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1. So this is a discrete signal, right? This is continuous signal. So which is continuous, analog or digital? Which is discrete? Yes. Fifteenth line in square cube. 15th line. 15th line. This one. This is, we are accepting the user value from the user. So when I say enter a number, whatever number I'm entering on the screen, that will be scanned and will be stored in this variable n. So what I'm scanning for is the integer value. So that's why I've taken an integer variable towards the left hand side. Okay. So if I say select the gender. So gender values will be discrete, countable, male, female, okay, or you can just say others. So very discrete values are there for this question. But if I say enter your HSC percentage or your 12th standard percentage, whatever you're calling your respective states. So will there be only discrete values for that? So if I have 100, if I have 100 people registering, I might have 100 separate values. Each person might enter a separate value. So that is your continuous data, lots and lots of values. So if your data is continuous, go for nested if else. And if your data is discrete, go for switch case, as simple as that. Because switch and nested if else more or less can do the same job. Okay, let me grab my charger. I'm running out of charge. Okay, so let me show with the help of example now. So these are very ambiguous questions. So you should be prepared with it. What is the difference between your nested if else and switch? If they are doing more or less the same job, then what is the difference? So let me show you all. Class, okay. So nested if else demo. Okay, we already have nested if else demo. In the nested if else demo, we already have one. So if I say that accept, show the menu to the user, show the user the menu, that which language does he want to communicate to the customer care. If he wants to communicate in English, sorry guys, pause a minute. So now I'll scan the input. Yes, I have the scanner now. So I'll say okay. Enter choice. And we can scan that into input. Choice equals to sc dot extent. And then I can say if your choice is equal to 1, then we can route the call routed to London. If not, then we can check for another condition. If it is not, then I check if the condition is true, then we can route the call to Delhi. And if else, again I will check. If it is 3, then we can route the call to Pune. And apart from that, if anything else is there, then we go the last else, and we can say invalid input. Right? So my question to you all now is this a useful use case for nested if else? Now these inputs are discrete, okay? They're countable inputs. So better we could have used switch case for such a scenario. So now if I enter 2, it says call out to Delhi. So instead of, so as these values are discrete, countable 1, 2, 3. So the better scenario over here would have been switch case. Instead of doing nested if else, we should have used over here switch case. So I'll just say switch case demo. So when to use switch case and when to use nested if else. So this much we can copy. There is a scanner. We will not copy the scanner. Looks like. Now we can just switch the choice. And now for each separate input, we can make a separate case. So make sure that you put a break after each case. And if it doesn't go into any of the case, it will surely go into default. If it doesn't go into any of the cases, it will go into default. So like this. If you are having discrete options, then the switch case is the ideal scenario over here. Now this code is doing the same task as this one, but this is a better use case of switch. So now if I run the code, you'll see more or less it's doing the same job. Okay, and over here, nested if else, we're gonna use of continuous values, like the percentage one. Okay, so if I ask the user enter percentage, then I want to show what do you say, what division he has got, what grade he has got. So now percentage will be in decimal, so I'll take a double, name it percent, and it will be next double. And now I can say percentage is greater than or equal to 70, then I will say is distinction. If not that, I will check in the next category that if it is greater than or equal to 60, then he is in first class. If not in that category, I will check if he is greater than or equal to 50. I will say second class. If not in that category, again I'll check greater than or equal to 40, then I'll say pass class. And else not pass. So here, as the values will keep on changing and it will be continuous values, so better you go with nested if else. So now if I enter, he gets 78.5. 78.5 greater than 70, yes, it will show distinction and that will come out. If I enter 63, okay, 63, is it greater than or equal to 70? No. So we'll go in the else part. In else, again I'm checking for a condition. Is 63 greater than or equal to 60? Yes, it will become true and it will go here and show me F first class. It will show me first class. Okay, so they're doing more or less the same job, but you should know their individual use cases. Okay. Change London to Delhi. Okay, sorry. Okay, so here. So here, if I run this, and if I now say 3, we'll say call out it to 4. And if I run, and if I say anything apart from this, if I enter anything, we'll go to the default and we'll say invalid input. Okay. So got the difference, guys, between the nested if else and the conditional statements. We also had the switch you can put as a part of the conditional statements. Oh. As a ternary operator also, which is question mark told. Okay. Loops, now we know iterations to do a set of code repeatedly till the condition is true, and once the condition becomes false, the loop will terminate. So we have for loop, while loop, do while loop, and the extended for loop. So let's take example of the for loop. Let's start with while first, so we understand for better. So while, okay, so while loop demo, and I'll add a package. Okay, so if I want to iterate the same piece of code, see, now if I write this code without the loop, this code will be executed one single time. But now if I want to write this, execute this code multiple times, I can put it into a loop. Simplest, we can start with the while loop. So loop will have three prominent, parts in a loop. We have its initialization, condition, then either increment or decrement. So these forms the three crucial components of a loop. So initialization means where the loop will start from. Okay, so where the loop will start from. Condition means till when will the loop execute. So till the condition is true, the loop will keep on executing. And increment means you need to take the loop till its closure. So the loop needs to gradually progress to its termination. So increment, decrement progresses the loop to its termination. So if we don't give increment or decrement, the loop will not progress and it will become an infinite loop. Okay, so now if I want to display this XLR 5 times, so this is the code I've written. So I'll just write this code currently outside. Okay, just for the sake of the example, this was the code I've written outside. So now first I need a loop which will execute 5 times. So I take an I and initialize this I to 1. This is my initialization. Okay, while loop, so I'll put a while over here and we'll check till this I is less than or equal to 5. This loop will continue executing, and I will increment this value of I by 1 in every iteration. So this is the loop which will run 5 times. Okay, so I is 1. How will you read this? Is I. You have to write the variable name, but you have to read the variable value and read while as is. So how will this be read as? So this is called as dry run. Okay, you should learn how to dry run your code, because you get the code ready-made on various websites, but this dry run is in the programmer's head. So the programmer who can dry run his or her code, in my dictionary, I call such person only as programmers. The one who writes the code is not that much important. The one who can dry run the code is more important than writing the code, guys. Okay, so now what is the value of I? The I value is 1. So how will we read this? We'll read while as is. We'll read while as is. We'll read the variable name with the variable value. So what is the value of I in the first iteration? 1. So we'll read is 1 less than or equal to 5. Answer will be true. So if the answer is true, the loop will execute. So it will go inside the loop and we will perform some task over here. We will perform some task over here we can do. So that task I can do is print XLR. So now Loop, what it does is, whatever task we were doing, it will just repeat that task multiple times. So earlier I was doing this task without the loop, so it will display me only once over here. Now the same task I put inside the loop and it will display me multiple times. So answer is true, will come inside the loop and will display me XLR. What will it display me? So what will be my output? So you all should dry run your code by yourself. A good programmer is the one who can dry run his or her own code. And then my value of I is incrementing. So I plus 1. Always evaluate the RHS first. What is the current value of I? 1. To 1 add 1, it becomes 2. And this 2 goes stored into the variable I. So now my I becomes 2. Loop complete, it goes back on top. Now will you read this now? We'll read it as is 2 less than or equal to 5. Answer is still true. And again it will display XLR. And then I increment by 1, I becomes 3. I becomes 3. Loop completes. Again it goes up. Again checks for the condition is. So we have to write the variable name, but read the variable value. So what is the value in the third iteration? 3. So is 3 less than or equal to 5? Answer will evaluate to true. And again what will be display? Will again display XLR. And I will increment by 1, I will become 4. Loop complete, it goes back. Then again we have to check for the condition. Is 4 less than or equal to 5? It will become true. Again display XLR. I increments, I becomes 5. We again check for is 5 less than or equal to 5? True, again XLR. And then when the next iteration I becomes 6, loop will terminate, because the loop, once the condition becomes false, loop will terminate. So it will display me XLR 5 times. So the same task which I was doing once, if I put inside the loop, it will do it multiple times. I save this code, I run it, it displays me XLR 5 times. Okay, now if I tell you all, I want the output to be like this: XLR 1, XLR 2, XLR 3, XLR 4, XLR 5. Who can tell me with the what changes I need to make to this? What minute changes do I need to make in this so that I can get this output? Anyone? So this XLR, I need to add something. So this XLR string, I need to add something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are in which variable? They are in the I variable, right? So I can concatenate the I with XLR. So if I concatenate the I, so in the first iteration, what was value of I? Value of I was 1. So when I say XLR plus I, will display me XLR 1. In second iteration, what is the value of I? 2. So XLR 2 like this. So you should be able to run and dry run your loops. Okay. What if I want the output to be like this, guys? What if I want the output to be like this? XLR 1, XLR 3, and XLR 5. So what do I do in such case? I just want XLR 1, 3, and 5. I don't want 2 and 4. So what can we do? Yes, simple is we can increment the value of I by 2 now. So instead of incrementing by 1, I can increment by 2. So what is the value of I initially? 1. 1. Is 1 less than 5? True. Will display XLR plus I. Value of I is 1, XLR 1. Now I increment by 2. So I directly becomes 3. So this part is skipped. Like I becomes 3. Is 3 less than or equal to 5? True. So we'll display XLR I, XLR 3. And again I increments by 2. So 3 it becomes 5. This part is skipped. And it shows me XLR 5. Then afterward it becomes 7. Then is 7 less than or equal to 5? Answer is false. Loop will terminate. I will get 1, 3, and 5. Are you getting the logic, guys? So as this is scattered across as the initialization, condition, and the increment or decrement is scattered across multiple lines, we are using while loop. If I put them all together in one line, it becomes the for loop. So right click, save, make a class, for loop demo. So now if I write the initialization, condition, and increment all together in one line, that becomes for loop. So how many times will it display XLR to me now? 5 times. And if I want to display XLR 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll concatenate the value of I. If I say XLR add tag, then okay, you can save and directly run. So this is what your for loop does. It collates all the 3 things into one single line. So now it's always up to the comfort zone of the programmer as to what he or she feels comfortable with. Okay, we use the for loop when the start and the end of the loop is known to us. So when the start and the end of the loop is known to us, that is a good situation wherein we can use the for loop. When the start is known and the end is not known, in such cases you can use your while loop. Okay, and you have one more loop called as do while. So what is the difference between while and do while? Who will tell me? So if I open up a paint screen, see, if there are 2 types of dining, one is your fine dining, when you go to a nice restaurant, okay, and one is you are eating food at any local food mall. You know, when you travel by the expressway, there are lots of food malls on the highway. On the highway, you have a petrol station, and to fill fuel, you get down over there. So there you have some food malls which sell you snacks. Normally they sell you normal snacks. Okay, there's no dining over there. So what is the difference between eating at these 2 places? So if you observe, this is the in of the restaurant, and this is the out of the restaurant. So in a fine dining restaurant, when you come in, you don't pay. You eat, and when you're going out, you pay. Okay, so here you are paying on exit. Pay on exit. But in a food mall, if you observe, as you enter it, you have to first buy a token. You have to first buy a token and give that token to the kitchen, and you get served. So you have to pay at entrance, and then you get to eat. So here you have to pay on entrance. So if a person who has gone for a fine dining restaurant, he doesn't know that his wallet or his phone is missing. Okay, whatever modes of payment we have. So online payment you can make via phone, and offline you can pay via cash or card, whatever. So neither of them he's carrying, and he doesn't even know. So he enters the restaurant, eats, and while he's going out, that time he will check and he will realize that he doesn't have any money to pay. Okay, so at least once you can eat But second time when the same customer will come, the shopkeeper, the hotel owner will not let him in because last time he did not pay. But at least once you can pay, once you can eat and go. Here, if you don't have money, even once you cannot eat because you have to pay at the entrance. And if you don't have the wallet with you or any mode of payment, will not issue your coupon. And when the coupon is not issued, you will not be able to eat. So here you have to pay at entrance, here you have to pay on exit. So do while is you check the condition after the iteration. So at least once the loop will execute. At least once the loop will execute, guaranteed. Irrespective when the condition is false. Even if the condition is false, the loop will execute once for sure, guaranteed. And if the condition is true, it will execute second time also. And if the condition is false, it will directly terminate. But for once, the loop will execute. Loop will execute at least one time, guaranteed. Irrespective of the condition. Irrespective of the condition. So whatever be the condition, the loop is guaranteed to execute at least once. But here your while loop is entry controlled. Okay. So your do while is exit controlled. Do while is you check the condition at the exit of the loop. But while is entry controlled. You check the condition at the entrance. And if at the entrance the condition is false, it will not execute even single time. So if at the entrance the condition is false, the code will not execute a single time. Directly it will send you out. Okay, so use cases of do while are mostly in the menu driven programs. So whenever you have a menu driven program, the ideal use case is that for do while. Okay, is that making sense? Yes, do while at least executes once. Correct. In do while, condition is executed at least one time. Yes. Not condition is executed one time. Code is executed one time, Shrikant. The code is executed one time. That is guaranteed. Whatever set of instructions are there, those set of instructions will be executed once. That is for guaranteed. In the while, not even once. If the condition is false, directly you will go out. It will not execute. Okay. Do while will first execute the instruction and then check for the code. Then check. Do while will first execute the instructions and then check for condition. And while will first check for condition and then execute the code. Yeah, correct. Okay. So now, if I show you this code, I want you all to tell me what will be the output of this code. So here, tell me what will be the output. Only once it will execute XLR. So I stand execute XLR, I plus plus I becomes 11 now. Now I becomes 11 and we are checking read while as is the value of I has now become 11. So is 11 less than or equal to 5, answer will become false. It will not go up, but at least once the code has executed. If I save this and if I run it, at least once the code is executed. And the do while will end with a semicolon, guys, okay? Do while is a statement, so it ends with a semicolon. If the same task, if I were to do using while now, okay? If I comment this out, the same task I were to do using while, tell me what would be the output? Tell me, what do you think would have been the output? Then what is the output of this? Who will tell me? So initially they'll ask you such small code snippets to gauge your understanding. It does not print as condition is not satisfied. Absolutely correct. Who was that? First answer, yes. Okay, so now let's try to run and it will not print anything. Okay, because the condition has become false. So while checks the condition at the entrance, as the condition is false, the loop will not print anything. Okay, got it? Okay, now let's come to the enhanced for loop. That is very interesting. Now let's come to the enhanced for loop. Enhanced for loop, guys, is used to iterate through a collection. Always remember that. Enhanced for loop is used to iterate through a collection, means an array. So if I have an array of 5 and if I want to find the sum of these elements, can you all help me finding the sum of the elements? How to find the sum of element of this array? So what people will do is we'll declare a sum variable and then we'll take a for loop which will start on the first index, which is 0. We'll go to the last index, which is less than the ARR length, and we'll increment by 1. And we'll do what? We'll take the sum and add the sum with each of the index values. And when the loop terminates, will display me the sum. This is what most of you all think would be the closest solution to this. The answer would be 150. The answer would be 150, which you have got over here, right? So this I am iterating through the array using which loop? My traditional for loop, where I'm giving an initialization, I'm giving a condition, I'm giving an increment. So I'm using a traditional for loop to iterate through my collection of data, right? So now what we can do is, so in the for loop, when I use a traditional for loop, I have to compulsory know the length of the array. If I do not know the length of the array, then I will not know how to stop the loop, because the loop has to stop somewhere. So here it will always ask you to provide the length of the array, and every time we need to play with the index of that array. Every time we have to play with the index. So instead of doing this, what the enhanced for loop does, it's very simple to understand. What it does is, okay, so if I can take any real world example to explain enhanced for loop, that would be good. So let's say, let me share my screen and okay. So we have a pile of chairs over here, okay? Okay, we have a pile of chairs. Okay, this one. Okay, this one. So let's take this example. Say the chairs. Okay, pile of chairs. So now let me open that. Where did I save it? Where did I save? Goes into the Excel interview preparation. Take this and I open it over here. So now this is a pile of chair. So now I have two candidates and I tell them now remove the chairs from this pile and line up them because guests are going to come and sit on the chairs. So now one person is a tall guy, one person is a tall guy, and one person is not that tall. So he's tall and healthy. Other person is normal mid-size. So what this chap will do is from this rack, he will keep on taking one chair and will give it to the small guy. Okay. And that small guy's job will be now go and place this chair in the row wise. Row wise, the small guy will place the chair. He will arrange the chair. So he will take the first chair, the small guy will take the first chair and then line it up. Then again, this tall guy will take the second chair now. Okay. Whatever second chair is looking like. And this chap will give to the small person and he will now keep on aligning the chairs in the order. Okay. So by one, he will keep on giving one chair to the small chap. The small chap will keep on placing them in the rows. So if this is understood, what for each does is, or for enhanced for loop, okay, it has a polar in between. It will take one element at a time from this collection and give it to this variable. So in each iteration, it will keep on taking one element, okay? Element means this, the values, not the indexes. So in each iteration, one element from here will come in the n. So in the first iteration, what is the value of n? In the first iteration, who will tell me what is the value of n, guys? You all should be comfortable with dry run. So the first iteration, the value of n is 10. What is in sum? Sum is 0, okay? So you all should be comfortable in dry run your code, okay? So for every, dry run means for every variable, make a separate column. And you should know in which iteration that variable is having what value. So sum and n, I have two variables. Sum is 0. In the first iteration, n is 10, right? The first iteration, what is the value of n? 10. Now what will I add to the sum now? I will say sum is equal to sum plus n. So now what is the sum has become? So 0 plus 10 is 10. 10 is stored in which variable? On the LHS, I have sum. So my sum becomes 10. Loop completes. Now the next value from this comes into n. Now what is in n now? N has 20. Now add sum plus n. What is in sum? 10. What is in 10? 20. 10 plus 20, 30. 30 will go in which variable? The one on the LHS. So sum becomes 30. So this dry run you should be comfortable. Loop completes. Next iteration, what value will come into n? 30 will come into n. What are we doing? Sum plus n. Sum is 30, n is 30. The table is 30, 60. 60 will go into which variable? Sum. Then loop finish n. What will n have? N has 40. Sum will have 100. And again has next now 50. And sum has 150. No more elements. Loop will automatically break. Okay, loop will break implicitly. I don't have to give any condition for the loop to break. Loop will break, and I will just come and sys out the value of sum. The same task I have done now in a more cleaner way using the enhanced for loop. The enhanced for loop will always be used when there is some collection to iterate with. So if you are playing around with some group of data, collection of data like array or some array list, then only we go with the enhanced for loop. Okay, if single numbers are there, then this enhanced for loop is not the correct loop to use. But if there's a group of elements, then this is the best to iterate through the collections or iterate through the arrays. Enhanced for loop is the best loop to use. N:(ARR) means from this collection, that is group of data from this array, in each iteration, take one element and put it into n. So in the first iteration, n has 20, second iteration n first iteration n has 10, second iteration n has 20, third iteration n has 30, 40 and 50. When there are no more elements, the loop will automatically break. Getting it? Perfect. Excellent. Let's take a 3-4 minutes breather over here, guys. I'll be back. I'll also take a 3-4 minutes reliever and join back in 3-4 minutes. Okay.
Uh, Guys, trainer will join within 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, please wait. Yeah, I will share the attendance link.
Array length is the number of elements in the array. So when we use the traditional for loop, over here, so this loop has to end somewhere, right? Where was it? Enhanced for loop. So this loop has to end somewhere. So it is in an array. In an array, the first element is at index 0, and so on and so forth. So where will the last element be? The last element will be array size -1. So if the array is of size 5, the last element will be at the 4th index. So I need to run a loop which will start from 0 till 4. So that's why I start the loop from 0, and the loop will end at 1 less than the length of the array. So the array length is 5. So this will be I less than 5. So less than 5 means 4. The length of the array is the size of the array. How many elements are there? 5. So 5 is the size of the array. Okay. So I hope for loop and enhanced for loop is comfortable. Now let's go to the third part of this, which was break continue. Yeah, interesting. So break is used to, okay, ARR, we can use ARR. Yes, Shiva, didn't get what you're trying to ask. We are using the ARR over there. Yeah, we are using ARR of I. So I need to pass the index. So if I want to read 10, I have to give the index of where 10 is. So 10 is at 0 index. So the value of I is 0 in the first iteration. So what is the ARR of I? So if my I value is 0, then what will be the value of ARR of I? ARR of I means the element at the I index. If I is 0, which is the element at 0 index? 10. So I take 10 and add it to sum like this. So when my sum was 0 initially, 0 plus 10, then my sum becomes 10. So this was what I was doing. Not necessary, because if I change the number of elements, okay, so your code will break them. So if I add 7 elements, then again you have to go and make a change over here. So every time I make the size, I change the size of the array, you have to go and change your condition. So this is the best. So even if the array is swelling, this code will not change. So if my array is of size 5, this code will find the length of the array. This will find sum of the array. If my array is of size 3, 4, 5, any size, my code will still work. If I uncomment this and I comment this, I comment this, let's save it. Okay. So now if I right click and run, so even if I have an array of size 7 size, still this for loop is working. So that's why we use the ARR length. Okay. Okay, now let's come to break and continue. So break, it prematurely terminates the loop. Prematurely terminates the loop. So it will break the loop in between. And continue means you skip an iteration. Skip an iteration. First, let's take break. So let's come to the basic loop now. Let's come to the for loop, basic for loop. So this for loop is going to die its natural death when I becomes greater than 5. When I becomes 6, this loop will die its natural death. So I is 1, initialize to 1, right? What is the condition? I less than equal to 5. So how will you read it? Is 1 less than equal to 5? Answer will be true. And you will come inside the loop and you will display whatever task we are told to do. And then I will, once this finishes, it goes back and first increments. So after for loop finishes, it first goes over here. And I plus plus means increment the value by 1. So I becomes 2. And then again it checks for the condition. Is 2 less than equal to 5? Answer is true. Again it will display XLR. Once the loop finish, it first goes over here and increment the value of I. So it will first go there and then check the condition again. So after finishing, it goes increment condition, increment condition, increment condition. Checks for the condition 3, true. Again increment the value of I to 4. Checks for the condition, true. Displays it. Again increment the value of I. 5. Checks for the condition, 5 less than equal to 5 is still true. Display XLR. And now when it checks for the condition, now the condition becomes false. So the natural death of the loop is when I becomes 5. So when this condition becomes false, the loop will die its natural death and I will not display anything. So this will display me XLR 5 times, right? But if I want to prematurely terminate the loop, so as soon as I display the third XLR, I want to terminate the loop. So directly I can say what? I can say, okay, I can say like this. If the value of I is equal to 3, then I can say break. So it will terminate the loop prematurely. So now this loop will break at 3. So first it will say I1, 1 less than equal to 5, display XLR. Now is 1 equal to 3? No, will not go into this if. I plus plus 2, 2 less than equal to 5, true, display XLR. Is 2 equal to 3? No, will not go into this if. I becomes 3. Okay, this display XLR. And now is 3 equal to 3, break. The loop will break and directly this code will not be executed. So it will display. So directly the loop will terminate at this point. So this condition all will not be checked at all. Now the loop has terminated midway. In midway, I have terminated the loop using break. So it will just show me XLR 1, 2, and 3 only. 1, 2, and 3 only. Because the loop has broken. So once you break, means the loop will not progress from that point. The loop has prematurely terminated. Okay. So that is the use of the break keyword. You normally use it to break a loop. You also use it in the switch case also to break the case. If I don't write the break and if I enter 1, if I don't write the break, and if I enter 1, it will go to, so if I enter 1 over here now, okay, and if I enter 1, it will display me all the 3 options. It will display me call out it to London, call out it to Delhi, call out it to Pune, it will display me all. See, it is displaying me all the options. So that's why once this is done, finish the switch. For that purpose, we use the break. So similarly over here, if I want to break the loop at a condition, I can do so. Okay. And continue is used to skip an iteration. Okay. So let's say if I show you the example. Okay. So let's say this is an expressway and there's some pilgrimage which is happening and lots of people are traveling in trucks, okay, to attend that holy place. Okay, so the government has told that we will not charge any toll tax of the vehicle who are going for the pilgrimage. Okay, so normal civilians who are traveling, they will pay the toll tax, and those who are going for the pilgrimage, such vehicles should just put a banner of the pilgrimage. Okay, so just put the banner of the pilgrim, whatever ceremony we are going, just put the banner of that on the bus or the truck, whatever, and we will identify that it is the pilgrim bus. So we will not charge toll from such vehicles. Okay, this is the initiative from the government. So now this is the toll plaza. Now normal people are also traveling and pilgrims are also traveling. So the bus are lined up at the toll plaza. Okay, so those who are going for the pilgrim, they have put a banner on their respective vehicles as pilgrim. So this bus also has put, this has not put, so this has also put. Okay, so that banner will suffice. So no need to pay the pilgrim, no need to pay the toll tax. So now when this bus will reach the toll plaza, will it pay pilgrim? Will it pay the toll tax? No. So the officer will say skip it. Okay, don't charge this, skip it. Now when this bus or vehicle reaches, pay. When this reaches, skip, do not do anything. When this reaches the toll gate, skip. When this reaches the toll gate, pay. When this reaches the toll gate, skip. Like this. So continue is like this, skip. Continue means you skip that iteration and directly take the next iteration. Directly skip iteration and directly go to the next iteration. So break will terminate the loop, but continue will skip that iteration. So if I come over here to explain with the help of the diagram. So if I say, if the number is odd, then only display XLR. Okay, I hope you all have understood what is break. Okay, I hope you all have understood what is break. So let me rename this class. Okay, so whenever you're renaming a class, always refactor it. Whenever you rename a class, okay, so you will see option of refactor. Choose that and then go to rename. So I'll say for loop demo and break statement. So that when I push them on the GitHub, you all know exactly what this file is containing. So I'll not disturb this file. So I'll make a new one for continue. Okay. Continue demo. So now what I'm doing is I'm running a for loop from 1 to 10. Okay. So I run a for loop from 1 to 10. And I want to display XLR. So now I tell that only display XLR and I say the XLR plus I. So what will be the output of this code? XLR 1 to XLR 10. The output will be XLR 1 to XLR 10. And now if I say just display the even XLRs, just display the even XLR. And when the number is odd, don't do anything. So I can do like this. If that number is odd, means mod by 2 and gives me 1, I will say continue. Means take the next number, don't do anything. Else, I will display XLR. So now let's try to dry run this. Okay, very important to dry run. I have only one variable I. So my value of I in the first iteration is 1. It will check is 1 mod with 2 equal to 1. 1 mod with 2 equal to 1. Answer is true. The number is odd. And the number is odd, I'm saying continue. Continue means directly take the next number. Don't do anything else. Directly it will go to increment. From here, directly it will go to the end of the loop and directly take the next number, I plus. I becomes 2 now. So now it will check, is 2 mod 2 equal to 1? Is 2 mod 2 equal to 1? No. 2 mod 2 is 0. Condition is false. Condition is false means it will go in else and it will display XLR I. So what will it display? Who will tell me what will it display? So it will display me XLR I. Value of I is 2. It will display me XLR 2. And iteration completes. I plus plus I becomes 3. Again it will check for the condition. Is 3 mod 1 3 mod 2 equal to 1? Answer is true. Answer is true means continue, means directly go to the end of the loop. Directly come here. So from here it will go back on the top and I becomes 4. So it will skip that iteration. That for that purpose we use continue. So we use break to terminate the loop and we use continue to skip the particular iteration. So like this, it will keep on going, and when 4 mod 2 is it equal to 1? Answer is false. It will display me XLR 4. So like this, it will display XLR 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. It will display me all the even XLRs. So when the number is odd, I am continuing. It will display me all the even XLRs. Got it, guys? So now I'll bring all this into practice by giving you all a problem situation. Okay, now let's try to bring all this what we have learned and bring it into practice. Okay, the problem statement is this now. Okay, so let me open up a Word document and we'll write the problem statement. Okay. So I'll have two problem statements. Okay, I'll have two problem statements for y'all. So let's see how good y'all are in solving this. Okay, so a class has 5 students whose roll number are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are roll numbers. The class teacher has requested the students, the class teacher has requested the students to bring, okay, chocolates equal to their roll number, equal to their roll number. That is, roll number 1 will get 1 chocolate and roll number 2 will get, okay, they have to bring from home, okay, to bring from their home but they want to give charity to the orphanage. So they will collect all the chocolates and they will gift it to the orphanage. Roll number 1 will get 1 chocolate. Roll number 2 will get how many then? Roll number 2 will get 2. Roll number 3 will get 3. Roll number 4 will get 4. And roll number 5 will get 5. The teacher will collect all these chocolates and then she will deposit it with the principal. So how many total chocolates will be collected from this class? Yes, guys. How many total chocolates will be collected from this class? So the total chocolates collected from this class should be 15 chocolates should be collected from this class. Right? So I want you all to find the sum of the first 5 numbers. Simply it is, you can say it as the sum of the first 5 numbers and display me the result. This is your first problem statement. Now the second problem statement is a bit interesting. Okay, it is based on this only, but it is a bit interesting. Now the teacher has not put any restriction. Okay, the teacher has not put any restriction on the count of chocolates. Any student can bring as per his financial status. So roll number 1 has bought 10. Roll number 2 is not that rich. He has bought 3. Roll number 3 is very rich. He has bought 30. Roll number 4 has bought 15. Roll number 3 has bought 8. So now how many chocolates would be collected? 10 plus 3, 13. 13 plus 30, 43. 43 plus 15, 58. 58 plus 8, what? 66 chocolates. How many? 65. 13 plus 30 is 43. 43 plus 15 is 58. 66, right? Okay. Now I'll add some more constraints. Okay, so you need to implement this scenario now. And then I'll add some more constraints. If a student has bought more than, okay, if a student has bought, let's say, less than 2 chocolates, we will not collect from such students. So minimum you have to buy more than 2. Okay, so we'll put a restriction. The class teacher has asked students to get chocolates. Okay, the students has asked students to get chocolates. Okay, minimum 2 chocolates you need to get. How many? Minimum 2 you need to get. Okay, maximum you can bring as many. Okay, maximum, no limit. But you should at least get, okay, guess minimum 10. Minimum 10 you should get, maximum you can get as many. So if a student has bought less than 10 chocolates, we will not collect from that student. So we will say, no, we cannot take less than, we cannot take less than 10. You have to at least get 10 chocolates minimum. Okay. Second condition is, if the chocolate count crosses 100, then the extra chocolates should be listed separately. So if a class has collected 110 chocolates, so the teacher should say we have 10 chocolates extra. We have collected 10 chocolates extra. So if the count increases more than 100, then you have to tell you have how many extra you have. Okay. Okay, then if you can just remove this, no, this you can just say if the count reaches, okay, let's say 50, you can stop the collection. Let's keep it like this. Once the count reaches 50 chocolates, then you can stop the collection. You don't take it from the other students. So if roll number 1 has bought 20 and roll number 2 has bought 30, stop the collection because we have reached our target. So if the target, okay, the target is 50. What is the target for the class? Get chocolates, minimum 10. Okay. Minimum 10. Maximum, there's no limit, but okay, minimum 10 chocolates per student. Okay. So we now rephrase our question. And she will say that the target we need to touch is 50 chocolates. So once we touch 50 chocolates, then she will stop the collection. So if the first student gets 20, second gets 30, target achieved. So she will not collect from the remaining 3, 4, 5 because the target has been achieved. So who can write the code for the first problem statement? Let's try to write this. There are 5 students, roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each will get as per their, each student will get chocolate based on their roll number, and total there will be 50 chocolates and it will be given to the principal. Problem statement 2. There are 5 students, roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Teachers have asked students to get chocolates. Okay. So if a student has bought less than 10 chocolates, she will not accept it from him. The target which we need to touch is 50 chocolates. Once we touch 50 chocolates, don't collect any more, just stop the collection. So who can program these two? Okay, let me push all this today. Try to write this code, and tomorrow first thing I will check this code. Okay, so these such problem statements will come in your evaluation of your interview. So today we were on day 3, right? Day 3 and problem statement for loops, break. Okay, so you have to use you have to use the loops over here, break over here, continue over here. You have to use all of that in this. Okay, so let me go and push this also to the GitHub repo. This is our GitHub repo. This was ours yesterday, right? So if I do a git status, so this is there. And now if I do a git add dot, it gets added. And if I do a git commit -m -3, if I do a git push, okay. So if you check the GitHub repository, these files have been pushed over there. Okay, but Have we pushed today's content? Have we pushed today's code? We have just pushed in the GitHub repo, which I come here. You're able to see my screen, right? So interview preparation batch now. Just did a push. Okay, so I have day 2 and day 3. In day 3, I have put the problem statement for loops and continue. Okay, code is still not pushed, right? So should I also push the code along with the statement? What I have to do is I'll have to then copy all these files. So I'll have to make a separate repository for the coding also. So as of now, I'll just copy these files and put it into the batch over here. Okay, now once I have done, I'll push these files also. Git status, git add dot, git commit with reports, and git. Okay, so I've pushed the code also on the GitHub repository. So if you'll go to the GitHub repository now and do a refresh, you will see on day 3, I have put all the codes also along with the problem statement over here. Okay, so practice this code and solve that problem statement. Okay, link you all have already, right? Link you all already have, right? My GitHub repo link, the same link, same, you can use the same link which I gave you yesterday. This one. Okay, yeah, I've reshared. Okay, solve this question, and tomorrow first thing I'll take a update on the solution, and then I'll also try to solve it myself and show you all how it is done. Try to use loop, try to use switch, try to use continue. Okay, try to use break. At least use loop, continue, and break. Okay. Okay, then. See you all guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye. And then you're there. You want to talk to them?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'll jump off.
Yeah, I will take it up.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you, Umar. So, yeah, students, I'm sharing the attendance link. Before that, I'm sharing that GitHub link. So please save it. Okay. Further notes is also we are uploading in this. I'm sharing attendance link also. Please mark your attendance if you missed out. And any more questions, you can ask me here in the chat box. I'm not getting link on WhatsApp, ma'am. So you don't receive any links in WhatsApp because we don't have any WhatsApp group for this program. Or do we have to pay, ma'am? No. This is a free EDL course. Ma'am, can we view the classes in our free time? Is that feature available? Yes. Varsha, we have LMS available. Okay. So I'm sharing the link. You just register there. So after that, you will receive mail. Okay, by tomorrow afternoon or else evening. Okay. From there you can access that LMS and we can watch other recording sessions. Okay. Is there any way to check attendance percentage on LMS? No, Arun, it's not possible. So then how to connect Zoom link? So Latasri, I sent registration link now. So please register here. So you will receive mail tomorrow through LMS. You can join. Okay. And how you join today? So same link you can use for 15 days. Okay. Ma'am, what if we are watching recording videos, then how can we get attendance? Sorry, watching recording sessions, you don't receive any attendance link and certificate. You have to watch live sessions for certificate. Okay, in live session only, I'm going to provide this attendance link. Okay. Okay, I missed last 2 days classes. Can I have notes of it? Yeah, Bhagyashree. I sent that GitHub link now. From there you can receive it. Like you can check from there. Just give me a second. I'll resend it. So what is the minimum attendance required to completion certificate? So Aman, you need a 60% attendance for the certificate. How to join on Zoom? So I sent the registration link, right? Please register there. You will receive a mail. Okay. Through that mail, you can join. I sent in YouTube also now. Please check it. Yeah. If you don't have any queries, you can leave the session. No problem. Can you please inform before starting the session? I didn't get you, Gulshan. Can you please clear on that? How will get the certificate? Through your email, you will receive it. Where should I get LMS link? So Sania, I'm sharing in the chat box. Okay. So from here, you can register. I missed to fill the form for 3 days. Past 3 days because yeah, this is the third day, Muhammad. So I hope today you marked your attendance. So you missed out for 2 days, no? So that's okay because we required only 60% attendance, no? So we have 15 days classes, means 9 days you have to mark your attendance. Okay, don't miss it from tomorrow onwards. I have joined the session at 7:45. So Gulshan, we have session 7 to 9, Monday to Friday, okay, for 15 days. That's okay, Bhavya, no problem, but don't miss out from today onwards. Yeah. Uh, uh, yeah, I sent the registration link, Muhammad. From there, you can register. After that, you will receive a mail. Yeah, you will receive a certificate, but don't miss out. Maintain that, like you mark your attendance, okay? So make sure. Ma'am, can you please tell me where you are from? So, I'm from Bangalore. Where can we check our attendance percentage? So, you will get to know that, right? Like, you marked how many days attendance. You can't able to check your attendance percentage, Kumar. Okay, fine. I hope I am done with your questions. Sister still not getting attendance on portal. Yeah, and one more thing, if you have any queries regarding LMS, like you didn't receive any mail, that and all, you just drop an email to edl@excello.com. My team will clear your doubts, and that email ID I'm mentioning in the chat box. Please take from here, okay? Yeah, thank you so much. So we'll meet on tomorrow. Up to then, take care. Bye bye. Good night, everyone. Yeah, thanks for joining. Bye bye.